What's going on, YouTube? My name is Bill. Welcome to KO Bets. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I'm doing an NFT giveaway. Basically, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll automatically qualify for a chance to win a UFC strike moment. I'm gonna do, we'll step it up. So the more milestones we reach and pass, then I'll start giving away ones. But I appreciate you tuning in, supporting the channel. I believe the NFT update, we are at 31 subscribers, so we're growing at an alarming rate, right? At this size, when you add 1 or 2 subscribers, you're growing quick. Like the video, helps out with the algorithm. Don't know what that means when I've got like only 1 viewer in here, but it helps with the algorithm, helps get my channel out there, and I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to say hello, let me know who you like tomorrow, chime in. It's part of the fun of doing this live. So we gave the NFT update. Yeah, I think we can just get into the UFC fights. Last weekend we had a really good weekend up until Qatar losing. That was a little bit rough. I mean, it's always a crapshoot in a close fight when it goes to the judges. When there's not that distinct winner. So, what are you gonna do? It happens sometimes. Otherwise, very good card. All right, so let's get into it. We got 12 fights to preview here. So UFC Fight Night, Tsarukyan taking on Gamrot. It's taking place at the UFC Apex Arena. Prelims start at 6 p.m. Central Time. Main card 9 p.m. Central Time on ESPN+. We got on the color commentary team, we got Brendan Fitzgerald, Paul Felder, Michael Bisping, and then Laura Sankos holding down reporter duties. First fight of the night, we've got Vanessa Demopolis taking on Ginyu Fray. Basically, in this fight, I'm favoring Ginyu Fray on the money line. She is the favorite at -230. Vanessa Demopolis comes into this fight. She's 1-1 in the UFC, took a loss to JJ Aldrich in her debut, and then she was able to submit Silvana Gomez Juarez via armbar in her second fight. But if we're looking at Vanessa, she does rely heavily on the jiu-jitsu. She needs to rely heavily on the grappling. She is going to be the smaller fighter as far as reach. You can see the reach advantage there for Ginyu Fray. I'll give Ginyu Fray the advantage on the feet. And then we've seen her be pretty good in the takedown defense department. You can see that 90% there. She is 2-2 in the UFC. She's on a 2-fight win streak after losing her first 2 fights. Providing she's not going up against like a wrestler who's just gonna absolutely, whomp her and hold her on the ground for the entire fight. Like, she's demonstrated she can definitely win. use the grappling to her advantage, use the reach advantage. So I like Ginyu Fray. Probably a decision for both of these fighters, if I'm being honest. Fight props, yeah, of course they like the fight to go the distance. Winning method, I would say Demopolis decision. Plus, or not Demopolis. Ginyu Fray decision. Minus 110 there. Like, that's a hell of a bet. And then if Demopolis wins, I think it would likely be just because she's like sticking takedowns, getting them on a consistent basis, and I just really don't foresee that happening. So, gotta go with Ginyu Fray on this with the decision. For fight parlays, maybe like Ginyu and over. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I like the decision, so I think there's, if you're looking to improve those odds, you can definitely explore, later finishes or maybe it go in the distance. The next fight, we've got Brian Kelleher taking on Mario Batista. I love Brian Kelleher. That's one of my favorite fighters. I don't know why. I think it's because you get to watch him, like, honestly, sometimes like 4 times a year. I don't know if that's super accurate. Here, I'll let you know. So in 2022, he's already fought twice. And now he's fighting again in June. 2021, he only fought twice. But in 2020, 4 times he fought. This dude he's a fighting machine. Love Brian Kelleher, love his experience, but when he's going up against Mario Batista, I kind of got to side with Mario Batista, the younger fighter, who's going to carry, I think, a little more size in this matchup. Yeah, 5'10", 72-inch reach advantage. Might be quicker. Brian Kelleher can for sure line up his power shots, and he does have a little bit of pop to his striking as well, but I think where he would need to take advantage of this fight is getting the fight to the mat. And I think Mario Batista is I think he'll be able to fend off any takedowns. I think this fight will play out on the feet primarily, and I think we'll see Mario Batista win the fight as a result. Maybe. So if we're looking at maybe a finish, if we're looking at Brian Kelleher, he does have only 1 KO finish, 7 submission losses. I don't think Batista's gonna submit him. But I do like Batista in this. Maybe a decision, maybe a knockout. I don't know. Knockout's going to be tough, I think, against a guy like Brian Kelleher. I just got a lot of respect for him. So they like the Batista decision, fight props. I mean, I do think the fight goes the distance, so maybe there's a little value on that. But, I mean, I wouldn't totally discount that knockout. I mean, if we're looking at Brian Kelleher, he does have really good experience. I mean, he's going the distance. Against some pretty good fighters. And, like, I don't know. I would definitely be careful with whoever you pick in this fight. I am a big Brian Kelleher fan, and I don't put it past him to, like, potentially use his wrestling. And if he can grapple this entire fight, he just knows how to win. If he can grapple, he could totally win the fight. So he's the slight underdog at plus 150. Batista minus 175. I'm rolling with Batista. I just think the fight plays out on the feet, but there's a path to victory, I think, for Brian Kelleher. The next fight, we've got JP Buys taking on Cody Durden. JP Buys 9-4, Durden 12-4. JP Buys is the slight favorite at -115. He's 0-2 in the UFC. Just hasn't displayed really good fight IQ up until this point, in my opinion. Durden, on the other hand, he's 1-2-1 in the UFC. He can wrestle. We'll give him. You can see that goes for a lot of takedowns. So he can grapple. I'm gonna roll with Cody Durden for that reason, because he's grappling. But JP Buys is a bit explosive. He just seems to get a bit reckless. So Cody Durden's for sure going to have to stay careful, stay composed, really set up those takedowns and not get hit with anything coming in. If we're looking at the odds makers, gosh, I mean, yeah, it's a pick 'em as far as is it going to be a finish or not. I would say I like let's check out their numbers, but I would say 2 KO losses, 1 submission loss for Buys. Durden, 3 submission losses. Got 5 submission wins. How many submission wins does Buys have? 5. I don't know. I kind of think if Cody Durden's going to win this fight, it's going to have to go the distance at plus 225 here. By the way, I'll pick out some of the fights that I'm going to actually bet on. This is a good one to just avoid, in my opinion. If you're doing like a round robin thing and you're okay with the coin flip, like I would go with Cody Durden. But I don't know, it's a tough fight. They had a lot of craft beer. And shouldn't be admonished, but you're trying to put out a reputable product, it also shouldn't be encouraged. But it's not a bad thing. Ooh. Says you're in Nevada sort of thing. IPA. Ooh. A lot of IPAs tonight. Let's go on to the next one. Raulian Paiva taking on Sergey Morozov. I like Paiva a lot. He just lost to Sean O'Malley. His last fight via KO. I like him. I think he's got good experience. I think he's could arguably have a stand-up advantage in this fight. But Sergey Morozov is definitely the better grappler. Yeah, I don't know. Paiva seems like a good kicker, has the experience, arguably better cardio, striking. Is he able to avoid the takedown? We can take a look at his defense. It's pretty decent, right? Or is Sergey gonna consistently get this fight to the mat and just make it a grappling affair? I think that's basically what you're picking based off of. I think he's able to get the fight to the mat consistently. The only hesitation I have in this is Paiva's conditioning is pretty good. Like, if this fight does make it past, the second round, that third round could be a tough round for Sergey. So I don't think it's a smart move. So Paiva's plus 130, Sergey's minus 150. I'm rolling with Paiva. I had Sergey highlighted as my pick. I'm rolling with Paiva, the underdog. And I think we've got 2 underdogs now, technically. Yeah, Durden, technically. But I'm rolling with Paiva. I like his experience. I like the gas tank. Sergey, he is 1-2 in the UFC. Let's real quick take a look at his. I'll just give you a breakdown of their last fights. We know Paiva, he just lost to Sean O'Malley, but he had a great win over Kyler Phillips, Zalgas Zumagulov. He just had a win over him. Come on. Like, that dude loves to grapple. Come on. Yeah, I mean, Kai France, split decision loss. I mean, the dude's good, right? There's no question about it. So I like Paiva in this fight. Sergey, he could just wrestle him. When we're looking at his losses, Umar Nurmagomedov, Douglas Silva, DeAndre. He got choked out twice in the UFC. I don't think Paiva's going to choke him out, but yeah, like, Paiva's going to keep this off the mat. If he doesn't, he's still going to have that 3rd round in his back pocket. Let's go Raulian Paiva. Fight props. I think the fight going the distance is probably a smart bet. Sergey, 6-1 in decisions. That's probably where he wants to win this fight. And then Paiva, 14 decision wins. 14-1 in decision itself. So he's only had 1 decision loss, and that was a split decision to Kai France. Crazy. So, I mean, maybe this one does end inside the distance. I don't know. But I'm rolling with Paiva. I like Paiva in this. Next fight, we've got Shailin Nurdunbieki taking on TJ Brown. Shailin, I mean, not good on the feet. Wrestler. The only issue is TJ Brown is also a pretty good wrestler. Arguably, I mean, if we're talking more well-rounded, TJ Brown arguably a little bit better in the striking department. So, for that reason, I'm going with TJ Brown on this. This is probably a parlay candidate, TJ Brown. Yeah, I mean, he should have an advantage on the feet, and then he should be able to push Shailin away. The question is like, if Shailin can eat the shots of TJ Brown, and just continues to press forward with pressure, like, that could get rough. But I think because he does have the ability to grapple, I think he'll be okay. Shailin did have a impressive win over Sean Soriano his last fight. I shouldn't even call that impressive. That he's 0-2 in the UFC left. So, yeah. I'm rolling with TJ Brown. If Shailin wins, hats off, but I'm rolling with TJ Brown, and I like that as a potential parlay piece if we're looking at the odds makers. Brown favorite at -200. Fight to go the distance. I think that makes a lot of sense when we're looking at these two fighters. Yeah, I don't really think this submission is going to be in play. It could be, but if I had to guess what was going to happen, I'd say TJ Brown decision, maybe some value, because I do feel he's going to be much better in the striking department. Maybe some value on the knockout, but yeah, rolling with TJ Brown. Like that as a parlay opportunity as well. Last fight of the prelim. Carlos Ulberg taking on Taehwan Ninjakwi. Interesting fight. I like Carlos Ulberg. If we're looking at Carlos Ulberg, he did gas out against Kennedy Njoku, but then came back, had a good fight against Fabio Charant. He's a good fighter. He's just got to stay composed. Trains with Izzy Adesanya. Really good stand-up, good kicking. And then Taehwan, more of the power striker. Probably lower output from him. But this fight, I think it's going to play out on the feet for sure. For that reason, I like Carlos Ulberg. Just like the guy who's the kickboxer to really take this thing probably 3 rounds. Maybe there's a finish. I mean, these are two dangerous fighters. Yeah, they're not going to like this one to go the distance. I mean, Jinjaku, the KO's the bet. So, I mean, minus 165 for a KO. That's kind of crazy. Out of 190? No, it's not too crazy. To be expected. I like Ulberg in this. I'm probably willing to put like a small bet on Ulberg. I think this is a good fight. I think Ulberg. What are his odds? Plus 105. Another underdog. I think Ulberg I like in this fight. The next fight, we've got Chris Curtis taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo, tremendous jiu-jitsu artist. 7 out of his 8 wins have come via submission. Chris Curtis, the dude's beat Phil Hawes. He knocked him out. And then he knocked out Brendan Allen. And he stuffed 3 of Brendan Allen's takedowns. Brendan Allen was 0 for 3 in that fight. Chris Curtis trains with Strickland. I don't know what kind of sick stuff they got going on in their gym, but I'm not betting. I bet against Chris Curtis 2 times. I'm not betting against him again. And he is the favorite, unfortunately, right? He was I believe, an kind of heavy underdog in both of those fights against Allen and Phil Hawes. So, I mean, I like Chris Curtis a lot. I think he's a fun fighter, a good fighter. So we're going to roll with him. Rodolfo Vieira is going to be the bigger fighter in this. And if it does go to the mat, he's probably going to get a finish. So I think the smarter bet, as opposed to picking one of these fighters straight up, is probably betting on the finish. And I wonder what the odds makers feel about that. Curtis, minus 120. Damn! Minus 750? Are you kidding me? Minus 105 for the KO? Okay. Alright, I want to do 10 here. That's 19. I mean, that's some chicken shit, but you could make like 30%, right? By doing some hedge like that. Some chicken shit stuff, but I'm rolling with Chris Curtis. I think also the longer this fight goes, the more it plays into Chris Curtis's advantage. So I think, given his size, Rodolfo is just going to be most dangerous when he's got the most energy to grab onto Chris Curtis and pull this fight to the mat. Yeah. Rolling with Chris Curtis. So, on the money line. Nate Maness taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. You gotta like Umar in this. Nate, pretty good fighter in his own right, but just going up against the phenom in Umar. Umar, ridiculous odds. Minus, check this out. Minus 950. Whatever I bet on Umar, I'm just doing a little hedge on the DQ. I think it was last month, or maybe even 2 months ago, but it was like, we had that Randy Jackson guy. I don't even know if his name is Randy Jackson. I think that's the American Idol judge. But the dude who was swearing because he got kicked in the groin, you know. And then I think there were like back-to-back weeks where the heavy favorite got DQ'd. Some bullshit. So ooh. So I'm just hedging with that, just in case something happens. But you gotta like Umar in this. Probably like the Umar finish. If we're looking at Nathan, he does only have one loss, and that was a KO. That was a kick to the body. And so I think I'm gonna go with Umar. Probably a finish is what I'm looking at here. Maybe the submission. I think Brian Kelleher was arguably, I don't know, we'll see how tough Maness is, like, but maybe I would do like Umar and under a round and a half for plus 120. Maybe I do Umar man. Submission round 1 is plus 250. That might be a little bit risky. It'll be interesting. Whatever I do, though, I am going to be sure to hedge with the Nate Maness KO DQ result. I just think it's... You see some freak incidents sometimes, and with that 0 next to his name, Umar's due. Thiago Moises taking on Christos Iagos. Rolling with Thiago on this one. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, but he lost to Joel Alvarez and Islam Makhachev. I just think he's probably a little bit better than Christos everywhere. Not a better boxer, but he does have the kicking on his side. And then I think if the fight goes to the ground, it plays a huge advantage for Thiago Moises, he is pretty slick with the jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, I'm going to roll with Thiago Moises here. He is the favorite at minus 255. Iagos plus 215. Yeah, poor takedown defense for Iagos. I think Thiago can compete on the feet in this fight, and then he'll just be the better grappler. So for that reason, I do like Thiago Moises a lot. Minus 245. If we're looking at the fight props to pick them, let's look at both of their records. Thiago Moises, 15 wins, 6 decisions, 6 losses, 4 decisions. 10 out of his 21 fights, decisions. Iagos, 11 out of his 28. Going to a decision. I don't know. Tough bet. I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm going to say Thiago Moises wins a decision. And I'm going to say the result is. I like the decision there. I like Thiago Santos. I don't really like Christos Iagos. I think he's got boxing, and then you put him in an MMA fight and it kind of falls apart a little bit. Josh Parisian taking on Alan Badeau. Yeah, I mean, both of these fighters, we're going to highlight their UFC careers. 1 and 2 in the UFC for Josh. And then Alan Badeau, 0 and 2 with a no contest. So, I'm rolling with Alan Badeau. I think he does, prior to the UFC, he did display KO prowess. He, potentially able to knock out Josh Parisian. If we're looking at their records, Josh Parisian, he does have 2 KO losses out of his 5 losses. The issue is if Badeau's not able to do that, he slows down a lot in his fights. So, Parisian's going to be the heavier fighter, but man, yeah, I'm just, I guess, hoping for an early Alan Badeau knockout. Like that's what I'm banking on in this matchup. In the fights Alan Badeau's had, Tom Aspinall, Parker Porter, Rodrigo Nascimento. So he's fought against some pretty stiff competition. And then we just did see Parisian get KO'd his last fight out. So I'm rolling with Alan Badeau. I think he gets it done. I think if he gets it done, it's likely early. Yeah, I don't like this one to go the distance, but don't even waste your money there. I would just say, I like the KO. Oh, plus 165. Do fight parlays. Plus 350. Yeah, I mean, I just like something early for Alan Badeau. That's who I'm rolling. Now we've got Neil Magny taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov. Neil Magny, big fan of Neil. Good Muay Thai artist, good wrestling. Veteran to the promotion. We're counting up his fights. It's just, yeah. ...2013. First fight in the... He's just been around for a while. Really, really solid fighter. Big fan of him. Took him against Max Griffin his last fight, got the split decision win. But against Shavkat, I think I'm going to roll with Shavkat on this. If we're looking at Shavkat, super impressive thus far in the UFC. All 15 of his professional wins have ended inside the distance, and he's 3-0 in the UFC. Just seems like career trajectory, like obviously Magny's not going anywhere. He's going to stay in the top 15 for this division, but Shavkat's coming, and like he could potentially be a champion. So I'm okay with, I think it's a good test, but I think Shavkat's gonna for sure pass it. You know, is it gonna be a decision? Like, is he gonna be able to finish Neil Magny? He could. He definitely could. Neil Magny, 2 knockout losses, 4 submission losses. You know, Raphael dos Anjos, that's a good submission artist. But then knockout losses: Lorenz Larkin, Santiago Ponzinibbio, Mia Maya. Yeah, I mean, 2 latest submissions for dos Anjos and Maya. It's understandable. And Ponzinibbio, he does have power, but oh, I like Shavkat in this. Let's see what the odds makers think. Minus 460 for Shavkat. Shit. They don't think this fight is going the distance. They like the KO. Possible. I mean, the Sambo's nice. The wrestling's nice. Maybe we're looking at a finish. Maybe if I'm trying to reduce the odds, though. I mean, he's pretty well-rounded. 8 knockout wins, 7 submission wins. Maybe I'm doing Shavkat in under a round and a half. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe I'm just doing Shavkat, like parlaying it to reduce the price with someone else I like, you know. Not sure what I'm going to do there. Yeah, but I do like Shavkat on the money line. I do think from the veteran status of Neil Magny, I respect the decision if you take him on the money line, just because he is a vet. Going to be a good test for Shavkat. Sure. The next fight, we've got Arman Tsarukyan taking on Mateusz Gamrot. Both are really impressive fighters, good fighters. I mean, I really can't say too many bad things about Mateusz Gamrot. Well-rounded game. Seems dangerous. Probably has better jiu-jitsu in this fight. I just like Arman Tsarukyan. I like this guy, man. That's a John Gruden. I like this guy, man. Yeah, like Arman a lot. I think he's going to be able to control the fight with both his striking and his wrestling. He's going to stay out of harm's way. I mean, his only loss in the promotion was Islam. Gamrot, 3-1 in the UFC. He was, yeah, he lost his debut to Garam, who we just saw fight last weekend against Demir. Garam's a good fighter, no question about it. But I think I'm rolling with Armin, and I think I'm doing it pretty confidently. Like, to me, Armin, Shavkat, Umar, Thiago, TJ Brown. Those are all fighters I really like, and then I'm okay with sprinkling in underdogs. I think Curtis, Olberg, Paiva. Were all options. I don't know. There's some decent fights out there, so I just want to check the odds, see if they like it go in the distance. I mean, I would say between Arman and Mateus, I would say it probably does go the distance, but here we go. Saying no, but only slightly. I would say I like the Armin decision. I mean, Armin is explosive, though. He is fun to watch. If you have not watched him yet, like, Armin's a good fighter. I like him a lot. Very good. Islam couldn't wrestle with him because he was that good in the wrestling department, but then Islam was much better on the feet, which tells you a lot about how good Islam is. Because that was a good ass fight, and I think they both have developed and grown significantly since then. But yeah, I like Armin. You know what? I'm gonna say Armin KO plus 225. I'm gonna say it. I like that. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put my Twitter handle in the I always have to look it up because I forget. In the chat here. Go ahead, give me a follow on here on Twitter, and I will be sure to post my picks, units, parlays. Now it's on to one of my favorite portions of the show, and that is trending topics. We've got politics. So the Lightning won Game 5. Is that over already? I do this to unlock the biometrics. Was I looking? Oh yeah, it's over. So the Lightning won. Colorado leads the series 3-2. Nice. Colorado's good. Who cares? Wrestling. Like I always say with politics, I'm not really down to get into that kind of shit. I'm more than happy to share my opinions, but that's not a reflection of anyone except for myself, so kind of selfish to do. So I'm not really gonna get into what happened in this Supreme Court today. You know, you understand a lot of people are upset about Roe v. Wade essentially not being a thing anymore. So now it's up to the states to decide what the law is on this matter. So it'll be, we'll see what the recourse is, state to state. I think there's like 7 guaranteed states where it would be illegal at this point, and then there's some states where it could be illegal. But I would just say with politics, just you got to let things play out with time, and I've got my own political concerns, and to be honest, Roe v. Wade isn't super high up on my list, but I've stayed busy focusing on some different things, but yeah, it should be. I don't know. We'll see how. We'll see what the reaction is. I don't think it needs to be. I mean, I don't think it needs to be crazy in either direction. I just think we need to kind of understand, where maybe there's a middle ground or something. I don't know. I don't even think it's like really a left or right thing. Conservative versus liberal. Like, I've heard conservatives come out and support the pro-choice side of things. I've heard Democrats support the pro-life side of things. So, yeah, I mean, I've got my personal beliefs, but I feel like that's just weird to spew that out to how many viewers? 0 viewers. Yeah, that'd be the time to do it, though. The last drive-in still trending. Pettis. Okay, so Hendricks tossed a gem. Hendricks is good. He's a good pitcher. I asked you to send in your favorite TikToks. We didn't have any. So the fuck? Oh, damn. Yeah, it sometimes happens. I got this the shelving contraption for my shower. It's super good. I like it. Why is it the same exact fucking... What else are they? They're not just Catholic, they're other things too. Right? Why is it the same sound though?
Oh, A for effort.
does.
Okay.
It do.
Oh, A for effort.
Hey, Mike. What's up, Fred Rolls?
Shawty, what's your number? No, I'm good, bro. What's up?
Oh, this never ends up well. Don't do this. Yeah. Just don't do it. There's other things to play with. Don't play with a full trash bag. Right? Come on. And you know that shit's just everywhere. That's the worst. One time I was working at Chick-fil-A downtown and I took out the trash. And I shouldn't have said where I was working maybe, but there was like you know, you could question if it was a chicken, but I'm pretty sure it was a pigeon foot. Someone did this and there was like trash everywhere. I was helping them pick it up and I just saw like a pigeon foot and I was like, what the fuck? It's the oddest thing. I took a picture of it too. Sent it to some friends on Snapchat.
Hey, bro. The fuck?
Stress level gets higher, I'm gonna dump up.
I've got cats. Don't make TikToks with them. Sometimes I do.
This is a sign. He's been thinking of you.
Alright. I don't know. I would appreciate if everyone sent in their TikToks. Their funny TikToks. I'm still live. Yeah, Mike. I went out to Geneva. Swedish Days is going on. So I went out to Geneva. I went live at 9:30 tonight. So it was a late stream. See you later, Mike. Pretty sure it was a pigeon foot. It could have been a chicken though. Got a Chick-fil-A. Alright. Would appreciate everyone subscribing to the channel. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna call it an evening. It was fun checking out TikTok. Go ahead, send it. You see my Twitter in the chat? Send over your favorite videos. I'll check them out on the stream here. Hopefully they're funnier than the ones that were just trending on that page. But I'd queue them up. We could watch them. Twitter's just like, it just promotes. It prompts me to talk about politics, which I feel like is a losing proposal. So we're going to call it an evening. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Check out my picks tomorrow on Twitter. I will talk to you later. Peace.